Ladies and gentlemen, Raw is on Netflix. What an episode of Monday Night Raw. You got your boys, Snowden and CTD here. C2 Wrestling. If you weren't just with us on the live show, watching the best in the world, CM Punk defeat Seth Rollins to cap off Raw's Netflix debut, then what else were you doing? We're here to talk about it. CM Punk, Seth Rollins. What'd you think?
Loved it. Loved it.
Loved it.
Loved
Loved
it.
it.
Loved
I'm
the
giddy. I'm
finish.
so giddy.
It just give me more. Give me more. I love it. I love it. I love the finish. It was exactly what we talked about with the shift to Netflix. You're not clock watching. The
Mhm.
show ended 3 or 4 minutes after 11, so it wasn't like
Standard showtime.
exactly. But when he hits the first suplex off the top rope,
Uh-huh.
Punk reverses it and hits the GTS. I'm not looking at the clock being like, oh, is this the finish? Oh, no, there's still eight more
Yeah.
minutes, whatever. Like, you don't know. You don't know when the finish is coming. I love the creativity. Hits it. He's still hurt. Rollins bounces off the ropes, kind of falls right back onto Punk to hit it again. Different.
Hmm.
Kind of felt more like not out of nowhere, but like
Anything can happen.
a different setup to
Yeah.
it. And, you know, to be a microphone in that ring to hear what he would say to Seth
I
and
wish.
what he said to the ref, would love to know, but
I'll have
this
to
is
watch it back. Maybe Netflix gets the captions. Who
yeah,
knows? Yeah.
yeah, maybe. This is prime example though of big match feel to me lived up to the hype.
Yeah, it absolutely did. And I do agree. You're not kind of clock watching. If that first GTS happened at 10:57, I would have been like, oh, it's over. It's just the end of the match. But it wasn't necessarily over until it's over, until that ref hits the 3 count in his terribly designed new shirt. You never know. You never know what's going to happen now with Netflix. That was a great match. It was a great episode all around, but that was the only way to cap off that show was with Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. And it was everything I wanted it to be and more. Yeah, I would be surprised if they don't run it back at some point. I believe Cole even said something on commentary to end it. Will Seth Rollins be over this, get over this, whatever terminology he used?
Can he let this
Really,
go?
will he let this go? Really sets up that he's not going to let it go, and they're
yeah.
running it back.
yeah. Yeah, I mean it's like textbook. Now, this brings the question that I will pose to you. As great of a night this was, The Rock just we didn't get The Rock. We got Dwayne Johnson tonight. Dwayne running around making you feel like he's not wrestling at Mania 41 unless he's going to face Roman.
Mhm.
Does this lead to CM Punk versus Roman at WrestleMania or that little foreshadow of Cole saying, "Can Seth let this go?" Does it lead to both guys in the Rumble? Seth gets eliminated, comes back in and eliminates Punk, and they rematch at WrestleMania. I as nice as it would have been for the first match to be at WrestleMania, I'm still happy if it's a trilogy, if it's match number 2 at Mania, if match
Yep.
number 1 happened at Mania. Any combination of Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, I'm happy.
Yeah, you could put them in the ring together any day of the week, and I'm watching it. Okay. I'm going to watch match 2, 3, 4, 5, 25. It's all getting viewed. This definitely sets up, in my opinion, Seth screwing Punk in the Rumble one way or another. Whether he gets eliminated and comes back, Kurt Angle style, or he just straight up eliminates Punk, kind of screws him a little bit out of his chance. I think the next couple of weeks will be Punk building that anticipation. I'm in the Rumble. I'm winning the Rumble this year. I came this close last year. This time around, we're doing it only for Rollins, not getting over the whole CM Punk situation, screwing CM Punk. I think going full blown heel, we'll get that full blown Seth Rollins heel turn, leading into maybe they run it back at the Chamber and then they run it back at Mania again, or they somehow hold out till Mania. Maybe Punk finds himself in the Chamber with Rollins, 2 of the 4 or 6 competitors, I should say. leading up to the ultimate WrestleMania rematch. I think this kind of shapes the card of Mania a bit. If you have Punk versus Rollins run back at Mania, you then kind of can figure out where you're placing Roman. You can then kind of figure out where you're placing Cody a little bit more. A lot of these other main fixtures for WrestleMania. I'm all for it, man. I said it before this match even happened. Run it back at WrestleMania.
Yeah, absolutely. To me, not that Punk Cody was impossible, not
Mm-hmm.
that Punk Cena was impossible. This just like further clears CM Punk's WrestleMania opponent is either Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the third would be Gunther, I guess. Yeah, but that even seems a little bit more out there at this moment in time. I've been saying this too forever now. You got to run back Punk Cena at Money in the Bank, and if you're going to do that, you got to put the title on one of them. So maybe that does leave the Cena Gunther match to happen at Mania. Or maybe Punk does take the belt off Gunther and he goes in champion against Cena this time. That's all fantasy book, and that's not even on the slate. But how do you not do that? Gunther, I'm not saying he's lost in the shuffle. This is a Gunther Stan account. Gunther's never lost in the shuffle. He's always top dog around here.
He's the deck.
Yeah, absolutely. Gunther, Punk, Gunther, Cody, Gunther, Cena. Again, the card is being shaped just by this one match. You can start to kind of narrow it down a little bit. I'm going to put my money on them running back CM Punk Rollins.
I agree. I think that's probably the most likely. Not that I needed Cole's confirmation after of saying, will Seth be able to let this go?
Yeah.
Because we felt that this was going to be the outcome. We both picked Punk. We
Mm-hmm.
both expected Punk to win, and it lead to the Seth breakdown and his turn. What's also kind of interesting is, does it lean Seth a little more with a Drew McIntyre, a Kevin Owens, who are of the similar mindset? Now, I'm not saying this leads to the multi-person match where it's Seth, Drew, and Owens versus, the Usos and Sammy or something. That's not my prediction. But a heel Rollins, how they're treating the heels who all have common enemies, I could see them kind of being aligned, but Seth's main target is Punk, and I'd be shocked if he's diverted from that through Mania.
I do agree. This does lead me to bring up, an option. These are two guys that are in a weird way intertwined right now. But if you got Drew McIntyre, who just ended this feud with Punk in a way, coming after all the guys that teamed up with Punk, whatnot, he even had Kevin Owens come out tonight and stun Roman Reigns. Does Kevin Owens ever get involved in this Punk thing? Does Kevin Owens ever come after Punk in some way? Maybe that's a match we get down the line. I'm sure it's a match we get eventually. I don't know if it fits into this, 6 month, 12-month kind of rivalry thing they all got going on. Punk Rollins is absolutely getting a second match, whether it's at Mania or not. I just don't see where you put it if it's not at WrestleMania. Where do you do that? Again, you could do it at the Chamber, you can do it at the Rumble, Saturday Night's Main Event, but it's easier to book them out to set it up for WrestleMania than it is to just have Rollins attack Punk next week and then they set it up for the Rumble. That doesn't do a whole lot for me. You got to go with the story of Punk going for the belt now. I'm here to win the Rumble. This is my chance. Rollins screws him. They run it back, maybe even a third time. Punk comes out victorious in the long run and then can officially go after a championship.
It's there's so many avenues. I mean, like, we are spoiled. We still have the favor that Punk has from Heyman. Who knows? Maybe it's
Mm-hmm.
that he gets the Mania slot over Roman, and Punk versus Rollins is in the main event.
Yeah.
That you have That's going to happen at some point. Punk Owens is definitely happening at some point,
Yep.
as we've seen them tease it. Owens even throw little jabs. We know Punk will once again face Rollins. Like, there is so many avenues that we're spoiled, and you got to be here to hear our opinions on it, because we are either live or reviewing or recapping or critiquing, you name it. As congested as we both are, more specifically me, fighting through colds to
Mhm.
be live for 3 hours, only here at C2 Wrestling, Congested 2 Wrestling. This is the only spot you get it. So you got to be tapped in.
You got to be tapped in. You got to be tapped in. You got to like, you got to comment, you got to review with us, subscribe to the channel, follow us on all the social media. This is only the beginning. That was the first live show of 2025. Plenty more lives, plenty more reviews, reactions, all sorts of content coming your guys' way. I'm Snowden,
I'm CTD and congested.
and I'm congested as well. Nothing new here. C2 Wrestling.